wanted to talk a little bit about Blockout 2024. If you've been on TikTok at all in the last couple of weeks, you've probably already heard of this. It's a movement and hashtag started by multiple different TikTok accounts aiming to block and unfollow celebrities or influencers who do not use their platform to speak out against the Israeli government and the genocide in Gaza. There are multiple different lists of celebrities circulating around TikTok. The videos have garnered tens of thousands of views, and the movement's actually picked up a ton of steam since the Met Gala, especially with the bad optics around it, with Hailey Bailey and the Let Them Eat Cake line, with tons of videos saying that, hey, this is actually the death of celebrity culture. It's time to really kick this movement into high gear. And there's been a few results with people like Kim Kardashian losing around 3 million followers, although that may also be her fault for some of her responses to hecklers in the crowd. Now, I have wanted to speak on this for months. There is a version of this movement that has been floating around since October, but again, since the Met Gala, it is center stage. And here's the thing, along with that stage, there's come a ton of criticism from other big TikTok creators saying, hey, this feels performative. This doesn't feel like it's actually doing anything. You know, there isn't actually a substantive goal. There's a ton of different things. And I have not said anything about this movement specifically because I don't think my words would have been heard at the time, because TikTok and a lot of other platforms have been so charged. I don't think people would have listened to me. I was worried about being deliberately misconstrued because everything was so charged. I wanted to give you my perspective on why this is a bad fucking idea. So let's talk about Blockout 2024, the practical issues with it, the moral implications and ideas of it, and how to effectively advocate for the people in Gaza. And I'm going to preface all of this, if you haven't turned this off already, with this. What you should do with your time and what you feel is worth your time, who you want to follow or who you want to unfollow or block, is your opinion and choice. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do and condescend to you. That being said, how effective something is historically over a significant period of time is fact. And the tactics I'm about to describe in this video that major companies and politicians and media figures use is fact. It's not an opinion. It is a well-known fact by anybody who works in this industry. So listen, even if you disagree with me on what I feel about this whole movement and everything like that, the things that I'm telling you that people opposed to you are doing, you should know, because at least you'll be able to combat them in your own way. And that being said, let's start with how this has progressed since October 7th. The immediate aftermath of October 7th was the biggest culture fog of war you could possibly have. It was very hard to find concrete information, but multiple celebrities in the limelight caught flack as they had posts or moments that went viral. People like Selena Gomez, people like Taylor Swift, people like Ariana Grande, Lizzo, even internet influencers like Brittany Broski, Beyonce, Billie Eilish, Hailey Bieber, Miley Cyrus. And listen, the chief argument has been, you are a celebrity with a platform. We are living through an actual genocide. Why are you not speaking up? Why aren't these celebrities lending their voice to this cause, which could possibly turn their audience and the tide of the media war in the people of Gaza's favor? People saying shit earlier this year, like if Taylor Swift said free Gaza, there would be a ceasefire within 24 hours. And that's why the blockout list is there. It's drawing a line. It's the death of celebrity culture and listening to them as points of influence. And I understand that. Here's why it's terribly ineffective. Over the last, let's say 50 years, it's been an incredibly effective political move to tie movements to bad behavior. It was effective during the Vietnam War with things like Hanoi Jane. It was effective in the 2003 Iraq War with things like Cindy Sheehan. You even saw it during Occupy Wall Street with a common meme that was going around being this one white girl with dreadlocks. You remember Clint Eastwood in the fucking empty chair? That's Mitt Romney's guy. So with all of that, let's say tomorrow, Taylor Swift really did say, free Gaza. All of a sudden, Swifties across the world are like, you know what? Taylor's taking a stand for this. We got to take a stand too. All of them tweet in support. You have a full 4 days of people talking about Gaza. Wonderful. Taylor is throwing her hat in the ring. Let's say she even donates to an association or a charity or something like that to help the people in Gaza. She tweets at Joe Biden even. Okay. For 4 days, that happens. And as this works its way through the Twitterverse, let's not even say Fox News. Let's say Benny Johnson quote retweets Taylor Swift and says, this is what Hollywood does to people. They will advocate for any cause, even if they throw thousands of Jews under the bus. Let's say he says that, and then Ben Shapiro retweets it, and then Matt Walsh retweets it, and then Steven Crowder, in a rare show of support, for Ben Shapiro because nobody misses an opportunity to dunk on the libs, retweets it. Then it makes Fox News. Then it makes the Daily Wire. Then it makes the Daily Caller. I promise you, within a week, the story isn't Taylor Swift supports Free Gaza. The story is Taylor Swift makes controversial statement supporting Gaza. Multiple Taylor fans are told to disengage with her because she's anti-Semitic. But then world leaders weigh in. And the chief complaint they say is that Taylor Swift is out of touch. Then you have a cavalcade for a full fucking week of people going, hey, do you remember when Taylor turned her back on this person? Hey, do you remember when Taylor wrote that really tone-deaf lyric about racism? Yeah, I really want to hear about foreign policy from fucking Nepo baby Taylor Swift, whose parents got her fucking into the industry in the first place. They will even go so far as to say, hey, do you remember when Taylor Swift gave Kanye permission to call her all of those things on his album and then lied about it? And they will reframe that whole story for the third time. It's been reframed 3 times. Here's Taylor Swift with Kendrick Lamar. Did you know that he advocates for killing policemen? And some of those won't hit, but I promise you, some of them will. Within about 2 weeks, it will die. And then here's the worst part. All of those bad things that Taylor does will be tied to every other protester in the movement. Every mistake Taylor has ever made will now be yours. And even if it's bad faith, again, this is a media war. It's not about what's true and what's false. It's about what works. It is the ultimate Gish Gallop. And I'm telling you, it is very, very effective. And it's already happening. Look at the college protests. Wall-to-wall coverage. Talking about how out of touch college students are. Look at every celebrity that does come out in support of Gaza. Wall-to-wall coverage about their transgressions, about how duplicitous they are to Jewish people. Even though, again, they're not anti-Semitic, they're criticizing a government action. And this is the point I'm trying to tell you, and it leads me to my next point. Every politician and every news anchor that would criticize somebody like Taylor Swift or Mark Ruffalo or anybody advocating for Gaza, all of them secretly want to be famous. It is an open secret. All of those people want to be in entertainment. They want to be famous. They want to be popular. Popularity is power in their fields. And the fact that they are not in Hollywood does frustrate them. There's a reason David Serrata ended up producing a film after his political consultancy wasn't going so well. Let's say that first example didn't happen. Let's say, Taylor doesn't advocate, right? Loses 3 million followers. As soon as Taylor loses those 3 million, let's say you shit on Taylor Swift. You're like, you know what? Fuck her. I never fucking liked Taylor Swift. Free Gaza. Fuck that lady. Don't come after me, Swifties. It's an example. Because of the way social media algorithms work, it's really fucking easy for a political grifter or pundit to make a video shit-talking Taylor Swift and dog whistling a bunch of really fucked up things and to watch it fly into your feed. And let's say you reject it. Well, because of how everything kind of interconnects in social media and because your friends actually have some of your content filter into their feeds, it'll show it to your friends as well. And that is the secret sauce of how grifters build coalitions, because they just need one similar opinion to hit. They will say all of the right things that you believe and then also be like, I fucking hope Elizabeth Warren gets punched in the mouth. What? Like, that shit's weird. And again, this is a known strategy. It's been implemented for the last 30 to 40 years. How do you think Alex Jones gained traction? How do you think Tucker Carlson gained traction? Tim Pool was a Bernie supporter originally. This is media fan base building 101. You attach yourself off to a demographic. Also, by the way, you're centering the conversation around Taylor Swift or whatever celebrity you choose to block. So let's go into the last part of this, which is the moral implications of this. A lot of people are saying this is moral grandstanding. A ton of people are calling it out. And honestly, it has been. Since October, blocking Lizzo on Instagram isn't going to make her endorsement of the Palestinian people move mountains, because most people who are not politically aware of the situation, by the way, everybody now at this point is aware of what's going on in Gaza. It is the #1 poll question everybody has an opinion about. It is one of the driving factors of the 2024 election. So you don't need to spread awareness anymore. Everybody knows it's happening. People now need context and value as to what's going on and why it's so horrific. And the issue with centering celebrities around that context is it becomes around supporting Lizzo as opposed to supporting women and children. And like I said, that comes with baggage. If you want to actually kill celebrity culture, don't give them attention. One of the biggest lessons that I learned in gaining a platform especially the years that where like I didn't have shit. The first time I went viral, there were people who said some really mean, fucked up shit to me. And I used to think that was really, really bad until everything dried up for a little bit and I had silence. That was suffocating. When you boost something, you give it attention. The conversation is centered around them. The fact that Blackout 2024 is the hashtag and not Free Gaza, Save Rafah, or a GoFundMe link for a Palestinian family, that's a fucking problem. And what's also interesting is all of the accounts are showing off everybody they're blocking. And listen, if you don't want to follow a celebrity, don't follow a celebrity. If you feel like, yo, I don't want you involved in my life because I want to focus on this right now and activism, 100%. But there's a lot of motherfuckers out there, and you know it, who are making TikToks for the views to show off everybody they're blocking. And that is fucking disgusting. Specifically, not because of the celebrities, but because they're thinking that that is all of that's the extent of their activism. That is deliberately performative activism. It is a black square on an Instagram profile. It is the bare minimum. It is not even going to move anything. I don't care how many fucking followers Selena Gomez has lost. And by the way, even if Selena Gomez co-signed the movement, people would go, that's performative. Do you want them to be performative? Like, what? I don't understand. Do you want celebrities to be performative activists, or do you want them to truly support a movement? And that brings me to my last point. If you actually want celebrity endorsements for Gaza, you have to create a value proposition, and celebrities will flock to that shit. So will politicians. If John Fetterman thought that he could get 5 points up on his opponent tomorrow, he would go back on everything he fucking said, say sorry in the press, and be like, Free Gaza now, I was wrong. Creating that environment is very possible. Still, even with all of the shit people are talking about, it is very easy to create an environment that says, listen, it is good. We need to stand up for these people and make people feel good about doing so. A good example is the George Floyd protests. Those immediately gave people a baseline of like what they need to care about instantly. And as much as some people tried to depict them as riots and all that kind of stuff, the George Floyd protest is credited heavily with increasing turnout during the 2020 election, to recentering and refocusing that campaign against Donald Trump, and for bringing about multiple conversations about racism in America. It was a flashpoint in American civil discourse. And there are points since October 7th that have been flashpoints. Bassem Youssef has been incredibly effective at using his platform and using the attention that he gets to focus on the conversation around Gaza. It's not about him being in Egypt. It's not about him being a comedian, even when he is a comedian. It all leads to that. But some of these other motherfuckers just want you on their page as a follower, because honestly, they make activism content. Celebrity endorsements are not going to save the people who are dying. Honestly, they're not going to move the needle or stop Netanyahu from his rampage. You think unfollowing Lizzo is going to stop 100 years of propaganda that tells Jewish people that they have to support this government that's doing horrible things or they're not Jewish enough? Or the decades of media depicting Arabs as crazy religious fanatics? Or decouple the messaging that apparently everybody who thinks Netanyahu's a monster is a supporter of Hamas, which is not fucking true? The only way to fight that defamation is the actual way to fight defamation. Absolute truth. If you tell people this is what's happening in Gaza, this is why we need to save Rafah, these are the benefits to this Palestinian people. Also, these are the benefits to Israeli people who are also being hurt by their government. If you build a broad, nuanced push, it will work. And you can already see some people who were advocating for things that were anti-Selena Gomez already noticing, hey, actually, this is a little performative. And maybe it's because of the Kendrick Drake beef. Maybe that media war snapped a lot of people out of it when a lot of those performative motherfuckers started to criticize black people for caring about hip hop music. So listen, if you are tired of celebrity culture or tired of the fact that people are not advocating as much as you would like them to advocate about this very serious issue, don't block or unfollow them. Ignore them. And in an attention-based economy, when you don't have any, you need some more. And the people who need the most attention right now are the people in Rafah and the people who are going through it. That's not going to solve everything tomorrow. It's not a short-term solution. It's a long game. we may see even worse things happen. But I promise you, Taylor Swift isn't going to stop it. I don't think Joe Biden's going to snap his fingers and stop it. But you will light a fire under their ass if they think, oh, wait, this seems important. Why was I not paying attention to it enough? And that is possible. That's our show. Thank you guys so much for watching. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Go check out Freestyle in the News. Go sign up for Too Soon Crew. My name is Tabani, and I'll see y'all soon. Let's go.